Hello survivors, it's another beautiful day. Hopefully it's not our last on Last Day on Earth. In this video we will be going over the cleaver and all its modifications. Similar to the videos I made for the metal pipe, I will be making two videos for the cleaver. In this first video we will be going over the modifications alone and what each stat gives you. In the second video we will be comparing them to each other with the goal of finding the best combination of attachments. Before we go into any attachments, let's start off with the base stats of the cleaver. It gives you 17 damage per hit, and its attack speed is 1.4, which combined gives you a DPS of 23.8. The materials needed to craft the cleaver are very cheap: 5 iron bars, 5 leathers, and 4 pine plank. It is a great low tier weapon that actually can be very reliable once you start to modify it. The best use for this weapon is for yellow and red zones. I would highly recommend that you do not take this to the bunker, as there aren't many fast biters, and that's truly where this weapon shines, killing those 80 HP zombies. Its high attack speed allows you to dodge the spit of toxic spitters, and toxic spitters in the bunker do not spit. It also has short range, so it's harder to wall trick with this weapon compared to the crowbar and other melee weapons that have higher range. Moving on to the attachments, it has two different slots, the handle and the blade. We will start off with the handles, as again those have the easiest stats. The reinforced handle has +1 in durability, which increases your total hits from 100 to 102. The materials needed are 40 duct tape, 18 adhesive, 40 thick fabric, 6 aluminum plates, 3 cleavers, and 40 bolts. Remember, do not use full durability cleavers to complete any of the modifications. Try to save cleavers that are red in durability and then use them for the materials required to complete the attachment. 6 aluminum plates is already very expensive for an attachment that simply gives you 2 extra hits. It's better to save your materials for another attachment. Even the plastic handle gives you more durability but does not require aluminum plates. It has ++ in durability, which increases the durability from 100 to 104, and the materials needed are 24 adhesive, 60 rope, 40 plastic, 40 duct tape, 3 cleavers, and 40 bolts. Even though this modification has more durability but is cheaper, it is still not the best handle. The third handle on the list is the metal handle. This has 3 pluses in durability, but it has a minus in attack speed. The durability is increased from 100 to 105, and the attack speed is lowered from 1.4 to 1.3, decreasing its DPS from 23.8 to 22.1. The materials needed are 40 iron plates, 18 adhesive, 60 rope, 42 duct tape, 3 cleavers, and 36 bolts. I would not recommend investing into this handle, as you lose attack speed and DPS, but you only gain 1 extra hit when you compare it to the plastic handle. The best handle for the cleaver is the hunter handle. It gives +1 in damage, increasing it from 17 to 19. It has 2 pluses in durability, increasing it from 100 to 104. The 3 pluses in critical chance average to 6 critical hits per each cleaver that you use. When you land a critical hit, the damage is increased to 32, as it has 2 pluses for those critical hits. It also increases the attack speed with 1 plus, from 1.4 to 1.6. Combined, the increased damage and attack speed naturally increase the DPS from 23.8 to 30.4. That is a huge jump, but it does come at a cost. The materials are very expensive for a melee weapon, as it requires 24 adhesive, 80 rope, 60 duct tape, 5 cleavers, 50 rubber parts, and more importantly, 4 carbon composites. Even though we desperately need carbon composites for gun upgrades, we can't craft good guns in the game. And like I mentioned before, once fully upgraded, the cleaver is the best pound for pound melee weapon to take to red zones, which is where you're going to spend most of your time farming and grinding out the materials to progress in the game. Therefore, making this investment worth it. Now we move on to the blades. Let's start with the light blade. This blade increases your critical chance by 2 pluses, averaging to 5 critical hits for each cleaver that you use. It also increases the critical damage by 2 pluses, but that damage is only increased from 15 to 23, which brings us to our next point. This attachment also reduces your damage by 1 minus from 17 to 15, also decreasing its DPS from 23.8 to 21. The materials needed to complete this modification are 36 iron plates, 20 adhesive, 6 aluminum plates, 8 hammers, 3 cleavers, and 40 bolts. This attachment is not worth completing, as it requires 6 aluminum plates, which is expensive for a modification that lowers the attack on a weapon that already does low damage. The slicer increases damage with 2 pluses. It increases durability with 1 plus. It reduces attack speed with 2 minuses. The damage is increased from 17 to 20. You get 2 extra hits with a durability from 100 to 102, but the attack speed is decreased from 1.4 to 1.1. Naturally, the DPS is decreased from 23.8 to 22. While the steel plates and wrenches can be difficult to obtain for a new player, this attachment is worth completing even if you don't have any handles completed for the cleaver, but only after you have the tactical backpack made and a few extra plates in storage to craft in case you lose your tactical backpack. There is also one important item that you must complete before investing into this attachment, and that is the generator. It also requires a lot of wrenches. The reason why this attachment is worth completing is the 20 damage allows you to sneak up to a toxic spitter or fast biter, and do 60 damage, then you finish it off with another hit. While attack speed is reduced, you get more hits from this attachment because of the hits you're saving with the extra durability and that threshold that saves you 1 hit on every zombie that you killed. Rather than spending 5 hits on a zombie, you spend 4 even if they charge at you. While most attachments allow you to kill 20 80 HP zombies, you can kill 25 with this attachment. Next we have the Sickle. This attachment has +1 in damage, 2 pluses in critical damage, 1 plus in attack speed, and 1 minus in range. The damage is increased from 17 to 19. The critical damage isn't really increased until you combine it with the Hunter Blade that also increases critical chances, but more on that in the next video. The attack speed is increased from 1.4 to 1.6, and the decrease in range makes it so that you really have to be in the face of floater boaters and toxic abominations, making it harder to dodge their slam attack. Between the increased damage and attack speed, the DPS gets a buff from 23.8 to 30.4. The materials needed are 36 iron plates, 24 adhesive, 8 aluminum plates, 8 hammers, 3 cleavers, and 40 bolts. This attachment is only worth crafting when you have another attachment that increases your critical chance, like the Hunter Blade, as you will never land a critical hit if you only have the Sickle by itself, since it only increases critical damage and not critical chance. If you're a fan of attachments that rely on critical hits, the better option is a Tactical Butcher Knife. This weapon increases your damage with 2 pluses. It also has a plus in durability, 1 plus in critical damage, 1 plus in critical chance, and 1 plus in attack speed. These advantages translate to the damage increased from 17 to 20, durability is increased from 100 to 102, the critical chance is 1.5 out of every cleaver that you use, the critical damage is also increased from 20 to 22, the attack speed is increased from 1.4 to 1.6. The increases in damage and attack speed increase the DPS from 23.8 to 32. The materials needed are 30 iron plates, 18 adhesive, 6 aluminum plates, 8 hammers, 3 cleavers, and 40 bolts. This attachment is the best in the blade selection for the materials needed. 6 aluminum plates is the most expensive, and this is why you didn't want to waste your aluminum plates in the other attachments, since this one gives so many more stats for the same cost. This attachment is also given in the survival guide, which I highly recommend getting if you're a new player. Its worth is over $100, but you only pay $5. I don't like to tell anybody how to spend their money, but if you can afford it, the survival guide helps you progress through the game much more quicker, and this blueprint is one of those reasons. That does it for this video. I hope you find this information useful and it helps you make the best decision when investing into blueprints. Like mentioned earlier in this video, I will be making a follow-up video of which attachments are the best when they are combined. I would also like to remind everybody of the giveaway of the tactical backpack I will be hosting on my channel on March 2nd at 7 Central Time. The link to the channel is below in the description. Thanks for watching. Remember to hit the like button, share and subscribe. It's another beautiful day. Hopefully it's not our last on Last Day on Earth.